Hello, hello, hello. Oh, here. Sorry, 31. Hello. Hi. I'm back for a while. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this, but welcome to the podcast, Crypto Podcast with me, Coach23. Welcome to Bad Take, because this is a bad take, definitely. To some people. And I will address those people later. I'm not gonna name names, don't worry. But, you know, you will, because I know you will be watching this. So, WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Second year in a row. Night one. Um, it came. I saw it live via Netflix. Um, without even using VPN, so that is good. Not illegal streaming. I paid for it via with my internet service provider, so it's all good. Um, it's a polarizing. It's the term polarizing has been thrown out for like forever. Uh, in terms of wrestling parlance, polarizing means it's a tame word for controversial. So for this WrestleMania, the build, the booking or build was some people say it's you know weak because they don't know how to focus it. And I think I've said this time and time again. If you're a wrestling fan, it's fine that you compare things from this generation to the other, to the past. It's not bad. I mean, it's not wrong to do that. I do that sometimes or most of the times. But I don't do that for the sake of just looking at negative things. I mean, I know the world is in a negative space right now. We all know that gas prices, a lot of things. If you're a parent, if you're old, to some people they say I'm old. I don't really care because I am. I'm 40 plus. Um, I have work. I have my day job, night job. Night job because I work at night, but it's a day job because it pays the bills and whatnot. This is only a hobby, doing podcasts, doing this wrestling review or toy review or whatever I do. It's just a hobby for me. I don't get paid for this. I don't. That's fine. If I do, great. If don't, then it's just my release. The thing is, people are comparing the Paul Levesque booking of WrestleMania this year, or maybe every year of his booking prior to WrestleMania 40. So after WrestleMania 39, then before WrestleMania 40, when Vince McMahon left WWE, Triple H took over the booking, creative stuff, and they say they're comparing this and even last year to 40, and that's fine. Like I said, it's fine. But that's the thing. If you're going to look at the spin of things, CM Punk said it best. The worst things that I'm paraphrasing or rephrasing or whatnot, the worst things that a fan can do is fantasy book. And if you emphasize yourself in fantasy booking that, oh, I want this to happen, I need this to happen. If you're a fan and you're not part of the company or whatnot, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, GCW, all those wrestling promotions. If you're not part of that company or part of the creative to do that, when you immerse yourself in fantasy booking, in your mind you said will happen. This you're like you're like emphasizing that it's your goal and dream that this, for example, Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. I want this to happen in that match, and it didn't happen. Turns out you will be negative about the product. Why? Because you immerse yourself in your own fantasy world. of fantasy booking, or what do you want to do in wrestling for Lance? Even in movies, TV shows, that, oh, I want this to happen in Avengers Doomsday. Oh, I want this to happen in Supergirl or Man of Tomorrow or whatnot. Or I want this villain to be in the Batman sequel. If it doesn't happen because you fantasy book yourself there, then you're in the losing side of things. In my opinion. I fantasy book? Yes, I do. But I don't immerse myself. If doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's just way of being creative in my mind that, ooh, even wrestlers, creative teams, creative writers in wrestling and whatnot, they always, even wrestlers themselves, say they will give suggestions, and then the creative people will say, what if we do this? And people will say, oh, that's good, that's even better. That's the part. Even them are doing fantasy booking in their mind. But if it doesn't go their way, then tough. So a lot of people are even complaining, and I will address some of the complaints later. So let's go with the matches, my review. Not really fully review. I watched WrestleMania 41 or 42, I'm sorry, twice today. So I watched the live, then I rested for like a couple of, no, not really a couple, maybe an hour. Then I rewatched it. Now, why did I do that? I watched it in the first time because I watched it, I watched it in the eyes, in my eyes as a fan. I didn't fantasy book. I enjoyed it. I didn't analyze at all. Then I rewatch it, and that's the analysis where the analysis, my review comes from. So probably I'll be doing that tomorrow as well for WrestleMania Night 2. So first match was free for ESPN2. First hour of WrestleMania. It's like when they say it's free, it's like a pre-show for them for ESPN because yeah, I didn't do the review back then. I hope that I reviewed the Netflix anniversary, John Cena's retirement. I really was like jaded about some people in the wrestling business. I hate the negativity. I won't say toxic anymore. It's more on the negative factor, the cynical factor of other people. It's like, yeah, my takes are dumb for some people or bad. That's why the title of my show is Bad Takes. Um, so I got jaded. I was looking for inspiration. I'm tired of work. Tired of a lot of things. I had health issues, um, physically health issues. So I really was like really tired and whatnot. Among other things. But yeah, so WWE is now PLEs are now on ESPN in the states, in the US, but other places they're on Netflix internationally for those regions, including the Philippines, which debuted earlier this year after using VPN for like a year last year. But yeah, now they're here, so everything is good. So yeah, first hour of WrestleMania 42 Night 1. They have two matches there. The six-man tag team match between the Usos and LA Knight against the Vision and I Show Speed. And the other match is the unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. So the first match was the six-man tag match. It was entertaining as entertaining could be. I was expecting, not really expecting fantasy booking, let's say, expecting that there was a turn, would happen. There was a turn, but it wasn't the one I'm expecting. I was expecting. I have to drink because I'm kind of tired. Um, so match was entertaining. Um, it's quite refreshing that the good guys won, the Usos and LA Knight. So they won over the Vision and I Show Speed with a little bit of shenanigans. I like that word shenanigans. Um, then Logan Paul berated I Show Speed because they lost. And if you've seen the highlights, I Show Speed like I like how he did the splash from the top rope or the top pillar or metal steel post. and it's like a double frog splash because he was like doing that against Logan Paul, which was the highlight. So it was a turn for good. Show Speed was treated like a baby face at the end of the night, celebrating with the Usos and LA Knight. It is what it is. I haven't, if I had a week ago predicted this match, it's not really your highlight, but it became one because of the Show Speed splash against Logan Paul. But that was the highlight, I guess, of that match. Then you had the unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, which until now, Drew hasn't even admitted that he was the one who attacked Jacob Fatu last year. I think they are still looking in an angle of who had done that to him, but Drew didn't. But their feud earlier this year is more on like you know uh, interjecting in each other's matches, costing the match. In a weird way, Jacob Fatu helped Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship earlier this year against Cody Rhodes, but in the end, it was practically the same. Jacob Fatu cost Drew McIntyre the title against Cody Rhodes. For Cody retained it. Oh no, regained it. So Cody is now a three-time WWE champion. And there had an unsanctioned match. And I believe since 2002 they only have like three or maybe four unsanctioned matches. One I believe was Randy Orton against I believe it's either Triple H or Christian. No, I believe it's Triple H during the pandemic, but it wasn't really it's an unsanctioned, but it was a non-match because I believe at the time the Fiend interfered, the late great Bray Wyatt interfered that match. I might be wrong. It's just on the top of my head, so I don't know. Can't remember. I might correct myself tomorrow. Somebody texted me, and it's my wife. So yeah. Then the first one in my head that came out is Shawn Michaels versus Triple H at SummerSlam 2002. I believe at the time it was their best match against each other. And you had Shawn Michaels against Chris Jericho in Unforgiven. I can say it's a 2008 or 2009. 2008, I believe. Yeah, 2008. Unforgiven, unsanctioned match, which in my eyes, in my opinions, is still the best unsanctioned match that I've seen between Shawn Michaels, or not really, the sanctioned match. And you have Drew and Jacob. I'm on the fence on this one because I like their feud. There might not be in match against each other because they're I don't know both brawlers and whatnot. Um, their unsanctioned match lacked certain aggressiveness. I know they're intense, and I might, like I said, bad take. Might be wrong. There was a little bit lacking in that unsanctioned match. Might be blood. I don't. I'm not really a fan of bleeding right now. Growing up as a teenager during the ECW years and WWE Attitude Era, there's a lot of bleeding. Uh, but yeah, it is what it is. As like I said. Now I'm going to give my take later about the entire card. But that's basically it. Jacob Fatu won after doing his. Does his moonsault have a name? It's like the best moonsault ever, or the male version of prettiest moonsault. But that's it. Does he need to have a new finisher? It's impressive as it is, but I think he needs a new finisher for Jacob Fatu. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Jacob Fatu won after doing the triple jump moonsault against Drew McIntyre, who's laying down on a table, and yeah, he won. I don't know if it's the feud has ended, but yeah, Jacob Fatu's entrance was one of the highlights of this evening or this card. It was great. The Samoan dance, the traditional Samoan dance with fire, and it was good. It was really really good. I was really really impressed. Then you have the 8 women tag team match for the women's tag team champions. So the irresistible forces of Nia Jax and Lash Legend, the champions, defending the titles against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, and supposedly the Bella Twins. But I believe 3 weeks, a month ago, Nikki Bella injured his ankle, her foot. She wasn't able to be cleared, and lo and behold, it was spoiled a few days or a couple of days ago that Paige, or in the Indies, formerly known as Saraya, signed a multi-year deal with WWE to come back, and she made her return at WrestleMania 42, teaming up with Brie Bella in this tag team match. It is what it is, but I find it really entertaining, the women's tag team championship match. Really entertaining in a way. It was entertaining. Um, Page got a pop. I can say it's not really that huge, but it, you know WWE audience, if somebody returns from, outside from the company or whatnot, they fully embrace that person, and they embrace Page. And I was surprised at this, that they won. Page and Brie Bella won the title. I was really putting my money on Bailey and Lyra. I was expecting a breakup between Charlotte and um, Alexa Bliss, which I still think might happen. It's only a matter of time. But yeah, I was surprised that they won. Page won via the Rampage Cradle DDT, and it was great. It was a congratulations to Brie and Paige winning the tag titles. There might be a turn if I fantasy book. Remember, it's supposed to be Nikki. And the Bellas are really, for me in my mind, I have my scratcher, are more natural heels than baby faces. So, yeah, see how natural my podcast is. Then, yeah. Then afterwards, I don't know if the match card is, correct. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I think I'm dissecting it match by match. Then afterwards, it's the rematch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between champion AJ Lee, making her return at WrestleMania against the man Becky Lynch, with the Wonder Years um, playing Becky Lynch's theme song. It's growing on me. Kinda liking the song itself. I know it's kinda like, I hate putting names, like a Simple Plan Music, which is like early 2000s. But I listened to the song, to the lyrics of the song, and even there's like lines that are really emotional even. So it's kind of growing on me because I miss the his or her old theme song. But yeah, and with this one, kind of not really controversial. It's your generic match between the two women, and Becky Lynch regained the Intercontinental Championship, making her, I believe, a three-time Women's Intercontinental Champion. So congratulations to Becky Lynch. I don't know if the feud is over because they kind of showed AJ Lee's disappointed, look after the match. There was also an internal struggle in the match between referee Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch, who accuses the referee of being, a corrupt one. I don't know if that's true, but Jessica Carr is, or was, I believe she wrestled a couple of matches in Evolve. Right now in the WWE's Evolve by with a mask, shows she's still, I believe, a wrestler, but she's doing referee duties, and it's not even a surprise because back even the day that referees are in matches as well. So yeah, but yeah, Becky Lynch regained the title. So congratulations to the man winning another championship at WrestleMania. So yeah, and entrances were good. Even AJ Lee had the little girls doing the skip. I believe Bianca Belair did the same thing a couple of years ago, I believe. So yeah, next match for me, kinda the match of the night. Kinda started like a little bit clunky, but they were able to manage the entirety of the match. It's Seth Rollins versus Gunther in a, I believe it's just a grudge match. Rumors has it that it was supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, but they didn't. I think even Braun was cleared after his hernia surgery. But supposedly this match or this feud was about Seth Rollins versus Paul Heyman, which is kind of weird. If after my take about this match, I'll tell my take later as well. But yeah, it's a good match. Braun Breaker returned, hitting Seth Rollins with a spear, setting up Gunther, uh, choking out Seth Rollins with a sleeper rear naked choke, have him passed out. No tap out, but submission for some people. So yeah. And Gunther won. The build about Gunther set like only like for 3 weeks when Gunther attacked Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins keep attacking um Paul Heyman without a backup because Logan Paul, current tag team champions Logan Paul and Austin Theory are embroiled with the feuds with the rivalry with the Usos and LA Knight. So they were like keeping I'm Paul Heyman alone. But Gunther attacked, and when Gunther attacked, a lot of people even asked, why is Gunther attacking Seth Rollins? He's not supposed to be part of the feud. He's supposed to be, rumor has it that it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio in a retirement match. Didn't happen. In my opinion, I believe Rey is not really ready to retire yet. So that's that. And Gunther doesn't have an opponent, so he got Seth Rollins. And when people are asking, why did Gunther attack Seth Rollins? I posted like an online simple explanation. Paul Heyman will owe Gunther something. And I believe it was last week or a couple of weeks ago in Raw that you owe me. Gunther told Paul Heyman, you owe me. I don't know how that favor will go through since it's Braun Breaker who helped Gunther win in some capacity. So let's wait for the story. Then afterwards, it's the co-main event of the night. Uh, Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer, La Primera, defending the Women's World Championship against 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan won with a couple of shenanigans. Roxanne Perez and Perez, because I'm a Filipino, so Roxanne Perez or Perez in some capacity of how they pronounce her last name, and Raquel Rodriguez tried to interfere on behalf of Liv Morgan, but there's no disqualification. Or no, there was a disqualification, but referee didn't call it, and Liv Morgan won after hitting Stephanie Vaquer with the Oblivion to regain the Women's World Championship. She was emotional. She was emotional. She really wanted that win. If she was a babyface, that would be like an awesome moment. But she was a heel, or she's a heel and or bad guy. But she won. It's okay for Stephanie to lose, if you ask me. I know she might not be that young, but I believe she's still youngish. Um, but she has a lot of WrestleMania, to compete at. She can win next year. Who knows, right? I don't know how this feud will will continue. Will it be because they had like an emotional feud or build with this before this match, but the match ended like under 10 minutes. I believe 7 minutes. Someone clocked it in at 7 minutes. It was really a short match, and maybe I will give my take about the short matches in a while. And yeah, Liv Morgan won. Congratulations. She's now again the women's world champion. And then you have the main event of the night. It's the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, against the Viper winner of Elimination Chamber this year, Randy Orton, with Pat McAfee. Um, Simply put, Cody Rhodes retained the title against Randy Orton. Uh, so it's a matter of perspective because double turns, quadruple turns that happened in the match. If you ask me in the perspective of in my analysis or whatnot, in my opinion, Cody kind of wrestled as a heel because he was even like showing tendency of aggressiveness, not the type of aggressiveness of like a baby face, but he was like showing the nuances of being a bad guy against Randy Orton. He is attacking Randy Orton's lower back or the surgically repaired back, and that's that. Match started with him, with Cody Rhodes taking out Pat McAfee, with doing a stretcher job, with the help of Jelly Roll and the reinforced table, announced table, really like exploded into bits and pieces of wood and back then. So it was really, I laughed about that so much for the reinforced table, but match started strong, kind of weak in the middle, and ended kind of strong with a little bit of confusing, things that happened. So Randy Orton lost the title or lost the match. Cody retained. Um, Thing is, the last maybe 5 minutes they were like reversing each other's moves. Randy Orton keep hitting Cody Rhodes with an RKO. He like poked, I believe, Cody Rhodes in the eye, busted Cody Rhodes' left eye. There was blood for both guys. Randy, they did a blade job between Randy and Cody, especially Cody. I mean, the blood was really in his hair, platinum blonde hair. There was really, it turned red. It was like a Ric Flair type or Dusty Road type of bleeding for Cody Rhodes. So a lot of things are rumors because nobody really, said what happened during the build of this match. I can guess I can do 35 minutes of the show. So they say that a lot of internet dirt sheet said that, even for me, in my opinion, because when Randy Orton won the elimination, I was like expecting uh, a a babyface versus babyface match. Then they turned Randy Orton heel or bad guy, which I guess they opened up the teacher versus the student uh, type storyline. And Randy Orton is still keep getting cheered, and Cody Rhodes for some reason he's like keep being rejected. The fans are giving Cody Rhodes right now the John Cena treatment that started middle of 2005. The Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks chant. They're giving that same treatment to Cody Rhodes. It might not be as vocal as the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks chants, but a lot of kids are still, cheering for Cody because he is a good guy. He's a superhero to them. And in the lack of terms here in the generation, this generation's WWE, this era of WWE, after John Cena retiring, they needed a hero, a good guy, and Cody Rhodes is that guy. Although Cody Rhodes was a heel back then when he was in the Independent and even in TNA, and he is ruthless as a heel, but he embraced being the good guy, the babyface, the ultimate John Cena white meat babyface now. And even in interviews, when he's being interviewed, said, "I don't want to be a heel. I want to be a babyface. I want to be the good guy. I want to set an example to kids. I want to example to my family, his two daughters, I believe." But in a way, during the latter part of the promotion for WrestleMania, said that I'm okay being a heel. I just don't know if it's right now. So we don't know what the story is going to do. But like I said, in the match, he was showing heel tendencies. He was just dialing it back. If if you know the nuance, or if you're watching the little things about about pro wrestling or a match, you would get where I'm coming from. And then uh they added Pat McAfee because they're, like I said, the build, they keep cheering Randy Orton. They're booing Cody Rhodes, and they interjected Pat McAfee to the storyline. A lot of people are saying, why? they're saying that it's supposed to be Pat McAfee was on the other phone. I don't think they fully said that it was Pat McAfee. I believe it was only Pat McAfee said I was the one on the phone, but I don't think that Randy Orton confirmed that. So we don't know. Could be someone else still. And then the rumors, backstage, rumors and whatnot, they said that it was ESPN's decision or TKO's decision to put Pat McAfee in the feud, so Randy Orton can get the heel heat that he needed because he was supposed to be the heel and Cody is the good guy or the babyface. In a way, there became like in a weird balance. They're trying to boo Randy Orton, but when like what happened this past Friday on SmackDown, they were cheering Randy Orton still without Pat McAfee. I believe he even said in the promo that I don't need Pat McAfee to win. Um, so that's what happened. The latter part of the match, after being taken out by Cody in the earlier minutes of the before even the match started, Pat McAfee returned wearing a referee T-shirt. He counted 1, 2 because Randy Orton hit Cody Rhodes with an RKO. Referee Charles Robinson was down. Pat McAfee counted 1, 2. He was even wearing her own soft neck brace, and then counted 1, 2. Cody Rhodes kick out. Randy Orton smiled with his evil smile, the treacherous smile of Randy Orton, and he RKO'd Pat McAfee for some reason. Then after him hitting McAfee with the RKO, Cody Rhodes, took the opportunity of hitting of Randy Orton with the crossroads, and Charles Robinson, got up, counted 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes retained the title. Cody Rhodes was celebrating, raised the title above his head. So it was like a heel turn, another heel turn, another heel turn. So then afterwards, Randy Orton took the title from Cody Rhodes and hit Cody Rhodes in the head, made him bleeding even more. And then afterwards, Randy Orton hit Cody Rhodes with the punt kick or the punt. So a lot of people were confused. What happened? Who's the heel? Who's the good guy? Who's the babyface? We don't know the answer because that's wrestling is supposed to be. You asking questions after a match. Sure, especially if you're prolonging a story. I don't think the Cody Rhodes Randy Orton story is finished, especially after Randy Orton hit Cody with the punt. Is Cody taking a little bit of time off, to do reshoots of Street Fighter? We don't know. Is he doing a new movie? Does he need a couple of weeks of vacation? Because back in 2008, 2009, whenever Randy Orton is hitting the punt, a wrestler has been taking out for like a couple of months. We don't know. And if the question is why did he hit the punt if Cody's not taking a time off? Why don't just give Randy Orton the title? We don't know. Is Pat McAfee really leaving pro wrestling forever? Because he said that if Randy Orton doesn't win, he's leaving wrestling forever. Will he, give on that promise? We don't know. Questions. I like those questions because is there more to that story? Why did Randy Orton hit Pat McAfee with an RKO? Is that an FU of WWE Creative to TKO and ESPN for like interfering in our business decision? We don't know. And that's the good thing about pro wrestling. If you want story to go, to prolong, good. Now, why is this WrestleMania Night 1 polarizing? Because it's like an almost 4-hour show, but they're like short matches. I believe Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes only had like 20 minutes. So it's like the only WrestleMania match with 20 minutes. Then I even said earlier, there was like a complaint of, oh, Liv Morgan won the Royal Rumble this year. And she and Stephanie Vaquer only had like 7 minutes. Go back in 2012, Sheamus won the Royal Rumble. He won the World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds. That's wrestling. And people are complaining about ads. Yeah, it's a warranted. People are comparing about commercial of you know on WWE or TKO. It's business. ESPN and TKO did their need their money to come back. ESPN has invested 385 million per year with WWE PLEs per year. That's 385 million. They need that money back, at least double of it. And if you ask me, money in advertising or commercial sponsorship, it's a lot. I believe it's still. I believe I said it even before that. WWE gets their money from signing a deal with with other businesses, Netflix, NBCU, or Peacock, or USA Network, CW for NXT, ESPN, Disney with the WWE PLEs, TKO with Paramount Plus, with UFC pay-per-views or programs, which is 1.1 billion per year. It's a lot. Those streaming companies get their money from advertising. Because back then, one of the things that I've read in a magazine article of WWE Business is that one network, I believe back then it was USA Network, we will pay you this amount. I believe it was like, I believe it's like 100 million or so back then in 2005. But we get 100% of your ad sales. We don't know how much. It could be like double of what WWE is getting, or at least a lot, or maybe if it's like 100, we were paying WWE 100 million. Ad sales of WWE is like 150, then we get 50 million more. So I believe that's it. I don't know if it's that the correct amount. I'm just thinking top of my head, but that's how other of those companies get their money back. Ad sales of WWE could be like 500 million for ESPN. That's why they're pushing ad sales or commercial more. And even might some wrestlers think, yeah, we don't, we hate the short matches, but they're getting paid more this year with the TKO, dealings that they have compared before. And I believe some of them, especially the old guys, they said that it's a weird business because back then they're complaining of, we're having like 200, 300 days per year, and now they're getting less. I believe less than 100 events per year, at 150, and they're still complaining. Repetition is good. I believe that's the same thing. I believe that's the only take they have. But you know, it's a weird business. You don't know where the balance starts or ends. Uh, in a weird way, like I said, they're getting paid more. I believe there was an article I read a couple of days ago that 2 years ago, I believe 2023 or 3 years ago, uh, the revenue, part of the revenue that WWE have to spend with talent, that's WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Evolve, and their independent signings or whatnot, they spent 195 million for talents alone for that year. So if they're getting paid like a billion plus minus 200 million or so just for talents, that's a lot of money. So I guess they're getting paid more even. But I believe some of the wrestlers said they're spending more as well because they have to pay for their gas, their travel, their hotels. I believe that's still the WWE business, so we don't know. So yeah, this is a polarizing WrestleMania Night 1. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? Definitely not. Why? I don't think it's the worst Night 1. I believe if as far as Night 1, since they started doing two WrestleManias in a weekend, like since 2020 during the pandemic. I guess the pandemic was the worst one. There's no crowd at all. Could say 38 was the best. The night one of 38 with Seth Rollins and the returning Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold and among other matches. I believe that's the best one. But I don't think that this WrestleMania night one in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 42 is the worst one. I could do an argument that last year was bad compared to this year's. Last year's night one was saved by the main event of CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. That was, if you ask me, I saw that match or that pay per view or PLE maybe last Friday, and I can say that's the only highlight of night one. I don't think yeah, short matches is, I was expecting longer matches, but I don't know. There's still tomorrow. There's still night two. You have Brock versus Ova Femi. You have Jade versus Rhea. You have the Intercontinental Ladder match. You have Sammy versus Trick. You have Roman Reigns against World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, among other matches. So, yeah. If you want to be negative, that's fine. Be negative. Just don't add other people in your negativity. And don't make other people, embrace your opinion. My opinion is my opinion. I'm not going to push it to among my friends in the wrestling, community. I'm not going to say to to my brother Paulo, Don, Sai, who you guys are. I'm not saying I'm not imposing that, you know, my opinion is better than yours. No, your opinion is good. My opinion, in my mind, was good. If you think my opinion is bad, then tough luck. It's my opinion. Don't impose your opinion or what you think is correct to other people. It's stupid. It's dumb. If you do that, then you're dumber than you think. Call me old, that's fine. Now this is my a little bit of my 2 second 2 minute rant. You know, uh, there's a data privacy law. If you take my pictures illegally and use it in your own, happiness or whatnot of your dumbness, I can file a case, a criminal case against you. Yes. This is not a threat. This is warning. Um, I still have my patience, and that patience, could grow thin. And the worst thing is, I know who your names are. I know who you are. I have your names. I can go to, cash in favors to some of my friends in the legal business, and I can, say, can I file a case against this person? Can you trace him? And they can. So don't do it anymore. Don't be dumb. It's just wrestling. If I don't like your opinion, I don't like your opinion. But I'm not going to impose my opinion to you, and don't ask, you know, for me to agree on your opinion. But like I said, it's a warning. If I find out again, if you're obtaining pictures of mine or even my family members or my friends, I can file a case against you. And I know your names. That's the dumbest thing you ever did. Is me knowing who you are. So yeah. So yeah, that's it. This is Bad Take with Coach23 for WrestleMania Night 1. I don't know if I'm going to continue this podcast again. Maybe, depending on my mood. I believe I'm in a healthy mood right now. Uh, Tomorrow definitely I'll try. Definitely I might be doing night 2 as well. But as far as night 1, in my opinion about pro wrestling and WWE, especially WWE right now, that's it. So thank you guys for listening, watching the podcast, Crypto Podcast with Bad Take with Coach 23 with my WWE Championship and my toys. I have Green Goblin. I got probably one of my favorite action figures right now. God Emperor Doom, who I believe will be the villain for Avengers Secret Wars next year. Is it next year? I mean, hopefully it's next year. But Doomsday is coming this year. But yeah, probably do a little bit of because I have my action figures right here. There you go. They're like there. So I'll bring you closer. So I have like a Galactus, I have my Marvel DC figures. I might be doing another 40 something wrestling or toy episode or comic books episode or movies in the near future. But yeah, thank you for watching Bad Takes with Coach23. See you guys for WrestleMania Night 2 or WrestleMania Sunday, which is Monday here in Manila, tomorrow. Peace out. A-Town.